Have you ever come out of a surgery, looked in the mirror and gone, that's not what I was thinking, or it's not quite right, or is there a bit of that?
No, not at all. I mean, this is only my third procedure overall, and maybe there will be a stage in my life where I do get something done and I'm not happy with it. But I think if I do everything slowly, if I do things with an informed decision, if I do things in an empowered manner, I don't think I'll have that situation come about.
And what about the cost of all of this? Do you ever sit and add it up, and is there a limit that you're willing to spend?
Have you ever come out of a surgery, looked in the mirror and gone, that's not what I was thinking, or it's not quite right, or is there a bit of that?
No, not at all. I mean, this is only my third procedure overall, and maybe there will be a stage in my life where I do get something done and I'm not happy with it. But I think if I do everything slowly, if I do things with an informed decision, if I do things in an empowered manner, I don't think I'll have that situation come about.
And what about the cost of all of this? Do you ever sit and add it up, and is there a limit that you're willing to spend?
Hello and welcome. I'm the original Sunshine Bay, and today on Can We Talk, we're peeling back more than just skin. We're diving into the world of plastic surgery regrets and the kind that you don't see on the after photos. From TikToks that are part cautionary tale, part open diary, we'll be reacting to people sharing their not so glamorous outcomes after chasing perfection. This isn't about judgment, it's about honesty. Because sometimes the glow up comes with side effects, and sometimes the side effects, well, are the glow ups. So let's get into it.
I'm gonna be real, guys. This might be the first time I regret getting the gastric bypass. It's been 5 months since my surgery. I didn't regret it with the pain. I didn't regret it with the feeling of missing out, or the loss of being able to eat and socialize as much. I didn't regret it this entire time. But I am so sick right now, and I can't replenish my fluids as fast as they're going out. And I know I'm gonna end up in the hospital either tonight or tomorrow. And I just feel awful. And there's just no way for me to replenish my fluids. My stomach's already... It's already so sensitive with everything I put in it. I don't take meds. I only take my vitamins. And it's just... I can't take any cold medicine because it just comes back up. And I can't get enough fluids in, and I'm completely dehydrated. And I know my potassium's critically low because my heart hurts and my muscles hurt. And this might be the first time I actually regret this surgery. I'm not just sharing this for attention, I'm sharing it for transparency. Because there are struggles, and everybody's struggle is different, and some of theirs is the mental health part, and some of theirs is the food addiction part. And this is mine. I just can't get it enough, and I can't keep my potassium up, and I'm so sick.
Of the plastic surgeon who I feel wronged me and caused me emotional lifelong damage. All I had asked for was a slope and a lifted tip. Slight slope, by the way. He basically presented this procedure as a walk in the park, nothing he couldn't do. I saw how easy he thought this was, and I honestly felt pretty good about it. I was like, okay, if he thinks this is so easy and like so doable, let's do it.
After sitting down and speaking with her plastic surgeon, Samara felt pretty good about the situation.
Super important side note here, we walked out of that office without a quote. Hey girl, well, can you tell me the total? He said that your total will be $21,000. However, we decided to go through with the surgery. I had to make a life-changing decision in practically less than 5 minutes. The reason he was late and very visibly upset was because a receptionist at the surgery center messed up his sandwich order, and this made him angry. Very angry for someone who's about to cut someone's face open, right? From this point, my surgery was supposed to have started 30 minutes ago. It is at this point where he tells me he does not think he can do the slope and lifted tip at all. So he asks me to pull up a picture of what exactly I'm expecting. Why are we asking for a reference picture 20 minutes before I'm going under the knife?
These are the 2 reasons I regret my boob job. The first reason is that it made me gain about 10, maybe 15 pounds. I was pretty fit before my procedure, and then afterwards, honestly, my recovery was kind of rough. So I wasn't working out, I wasn't lifting weights, I was just too weak to do any of that. I gained a bit of weight and I lost muscle because I just wasn't as active as I was before. And that combination just made me chubby for almost the entire year. It took like 6 to 9 months for me to get back into the gym. And even now, 1 year later, I'm still not lifting as heavy as I used to. Second reason is that it gave me chest acne, which sucks. I've never had chest acne before, but I think what makes it really bad is that my skin type scars. So if I get a pimple, if I get any kind of blemish, it will leave a scar. It's been a year and I still get pimples on my chest. They'll come and go pretty fast, but they always leave a tiny little scar. So my chest pretty much looks like it's covered in little freckles or like sunspots. That's the look that I'm gonna go for. I've learned to embrace it because what can I do? I'm not gonna like cover my chest up and start wearing turtlenecks after paying for cleavage. So yeah, those are the 2 things that I did not anticipate. Bear that in mind before you get a boob job.
I had a BBL and I 100% regret it. I had pretty drastic complications and now I have long-term side effects. It was honestly the worst pain I've ever been in and took a long time to recover. So to give you a backstory, I always had like a really flat ass and I was fine with it. And then I was dating a guy who had a lot of money and turned out I was like his side chick, but I had no idea. And I caught him with his girlfriend saying like, "Hi, I'm his girlfriend, who are you?" And she's like, "I'm his girlfriend." Where it turned out she had a BBL and he had paid for it and she was taking like 6 weeks off of being with him, So that's when he found me. And in that 6 weeks time of dating, like we talked about marriage and everything. So long story short, like she beat the crap out of him, they broke up, he chose me, and to forgive him, I was like, buy me a BBL. And never did I ever actually want a BBL, never even thought about it until like that year because guys were such jerks to me and made me feel super self-conscious about my flat butt. I was also super skinny, like the most fit I could possibly be, and guys would still tell me I was big or they were used to dating smaller girls, and so really self-conscious about like having fat on my body. So I wanted like to get liposuction with the BBL. So because he offered to pay for it, I was like, shoot, I gotta get this thing quick. And so in 1 week, I made the appointment and got it done. That was obviously my first mistake because I didn't really research the doctor. I didn't really think it through. It was just kind of an impulse decision when I was like having a really low self-esteem moment. So I have the surgery. I don't have anyone to drive me home, which I ended up Ubering to a hotel that my mom we were having like a family reunion for a week. So I Uber there, and I was in so much pain. I was just like hyped up on painkillers, and like painkillers I'm really sensitive to. So I put ice packs on me and fell asleep with them on. Anyways, my skin ended up dying, which was basically like a 3rd-degree burn or something. I had to take off my compression suit and go to the hospital every single, like the Instacare, every single day and have my skin scraped as if I was a burn victim. They were honestly just trying to save my tissue because it was turning black and dying on my ass. So in that time is when I kind of realized like I should just see my own beauty and like realize I don't need all these things done. I was okay. I do now have like these 2 scars that turn red whenever I get too hot or like a hot tub. One's like a mosquito bite or like a bullseye, and the other one's the shape of Florida on both cheeks. So my butt will be like round and then have a little bit of a flat spot. Also when I run, I can feel the fat like hitting my body. And
when you regret a decision that you made, There is so much shame. The second I got those implants, I knew I had made a huge mistake. I just felt like I was the dumbest person. I hated how they looked. I felt heavier. I started dressing in bigger clothes. I started covering up my chest. Whenever I tried to do yoga, of any kind of twist, I'm like, I can't get my elbow around that damn thing. It went from mental complications and this feeling of regret to literally physical symptoms that I did not realize at the time were 100% caused by the implants. I started experiencing all this numbness in my right arm and tingling on my pinky fingers and my elbow and under my armpit. My Raynaud's syndrome, which is a condition where your fingers and toes can turn white, circulation gone. Looking back, I know that my body was trying to tell me, get these freaking things out of here. I knew it was time to finally share this story with you. Because this isn't just about implants. It's about the decisions that change you, the shame that you carry, and the courage that it takes to admit, I wish I'd done it differently.
3 plastic surgery procedures you might regret later on, all right? Number 1 is buccal fat pad removal. It is a very trendy thing. I don't like to do it. I rarely do it. I know how to do it. It's kind of a tricky operation to do right. Doesn't benefit most people, and it can risk damaging the buccal brand to the facial nerve. And then my opinion is that you're gonna wanna have that fat later. So why are you gonna remove it now? We're just gonna have to do filler later. So number 2 is a brow lift. Typically they're overdone. They're not need to be done. You can do a little Botox brow lift. If you do a brow lift at all, I do like a little hairline brow lift. But again, it's if your brow is at the level of your brow bone, that's a good place. You don't want it to be above your eyebrow. That's when you start to look weird. And once you start to look weird, it's just all downhill. Number 3 is a lip lift. Very rarely have I ever seen a lip lift done where you don't notice a scar right here, okay? So sometimes that scar is more noticeable than the benefit from the lip lift. Some people really need a lip lift, so you know the key is to really make sure to minimize that scar. I don't do any interrupted sutures there. I do a special technique. I'm not trying to promote my lip lifts. They're really challenging operations, but it's that scar can really get to you later on, especially if it's not closed right or under a lot of tension. Let me know a procedure or an injectable that you got that you regret.
Before we wrap it up, let me just say this. I get it, the pressure to look perfect in a world full of filters, face tuning, and 4K front-facing cameras is intense. We're living in a time where your face isn't just a face, it's a brand, a statement, a supposed measure of success. And people get plastic surgery for thousands of reasons, from self-esteem to survival and image, obsessed industries. But regrets don't mean failure, they mean you're human. And honestly, with how fast beauty standards change these days, sometimes it feels like trying to download the latest update to your face before it's even finished loading. It's no wonder people are overwhelmed. Today it's snatched, tomorrow it's natural, and by the end of the week we're all supposed to look like AI-generated Renaissance fairies. The goalpost keeps moving, but the pressure stays put. And while some enhancements come from a place of empowerment, others come from silent desperation. We're all just trying to feel good in our own skin. And the irony is how much we're willing to change it to get there. It's okay to want to look better, just don't lose yourself trying to look like someone else. So what have we learned? Beauty might be in the eye of the beholder, but regret? That one usually shows up in very high definition. And to those who've shared their stories online, your vulnerability is powerful and your honesty helps more people than you know. The space is always judgment-free. And if this gave you something to think about, I'd truly love to hear your perspective. Feel free to share your thoughts below. And if you found this meaningful, tap like, send it to someone who needs it, and subscribe so we can keep these conversations going. I am the original Sunshine Bay, and if you're thinking of a little touch-up, just remember, Photoshop is cheaper and it doesn't require downtime. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.